بسم الله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله. رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقه قولي. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. We are continuing with our studies on or our analysis of the book التعبير القرآني by Dr. Fadil Saleh Samirra'i. And yesterday we just went on some more evidences. So basically, he made a claim that the Quran, every letter, every haraka, every word is placed in a beautiful placement. And now he's giving evidence. He has been giving evidence to support that claim. And so far, we've looked at different angles with which he has provided evidence. And yesterday, we looked at another angle in which now statistics or counts were used also, and how different words appear. Like, for example, the word dunya appears the same amount of times as the word akhirah. So dunya and akhirah, like the pair, so different pairs having the same number of mentions. Or for example, death and life being mentioned each 145 times, and so on and so forth. So he's going to continue off that discussion and give more evidence to this conversation that he started. Okay. So if anybody wants to participate, you can raise your hand, or you can unmute yourself. Again, it's just a lot of pairings of different words and how they have been and how many times they have been mentioned in the Quran. Again, disclaimer, I have not confirmed this. I do not know how accurate this information is. We will take the information at face value, and we will trust the author that this is the case. And of course, if somebody else finds mistakes regarding these counts, then of course we understand that he's human and mistakes are human, and we allow them, we forgive mistakes. Okay, so I see we have Saima here. Okay, Saima.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. وتكرر لفظ كفرا بقدر لفظ إيمانا، فقد تكرر كل منهما 8 مرات.
Sorry, I don't know what's happening. I can't be able to write. Okay, now I can. Okay. Good. بقدر لفظه.
تكرر في الماضي لفظ is the file, كفرا is the بدل of لفظ or the word. I don't know.
Or it could be the مضاف إليه.
Oh, the word of kufran will say?
Yes.
Okay. So if it's a mudaf ilay, then why nasab?
Because it's protected by the quotes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So this word has been already used before, and that's why it's like makulul call, something like that. It's protected by the
Yes.
quote.
It's protected by the quotes, yes.
Okay. Then biqadari lafzi, this is mudal.
Maybe I can explain the concept a little bit more. When we say protected by the quotes, what do we mean? For example, if I say there's a person called Asadullah, that's his name, Asadullah. Okay. Both words are Arabic words. Both words they're isms, right? And therefore you can have different status. It can be Asadullah, it can be Asadullah, it can be Asadillah, right? It's possible. But his name is Asadullah. So if I say I'm quoting Asadullah, if I'm quoting him or I'm reporting something about him, his name, I will not grammatically change his name because I cannot grammatically change his name. That's his name. I cannot apply status rules or grammar rules to somebody's name. For example, if your name is written in your birth certificate, whatever it's written, Asadullah, for example, if your name is written Asadullah with a U, that's your name. I cannot change it grammatically and put a fatha on it and be like, marartu bi asadillah. Like, that would be a different meaning. So I will actually say marartu bi asadullah, and the asadullah will be protected by the quotes, will still be rafa, will be jar, but it's called ala al-hikaya because of narration, because of mentioning. So that's kind of like the idea of what's happening here. So this word kufran, as it is kufran, that's what we are talking about. It has appeared in the Quran as kufran. Yeah, not kufrun, not kufrin, kufran, that word. Imanan, like that. That's what he's trying to say. Okay.
Okay. So بقدر لفظي, this is متعلق to تقرر. بقدر لفظي is جار مجرور and مضاف مضاف إليه. Then فقد we can say استنافية. قد is the حرف. تقرر is again في الماضي. كل منهما is the فاعل. كل and then منهما is مضاف مضاف إليه. Then ثمان مرات is the مفعول, we'll say. No, not مفعول. It is a number of times. مفعول به is what and who.
So ثماني, this is like a بدل of كل. So فقد تكرر 8 مرات. فقد تكرر كل منهما 8 مرات. It could be a عطف بيان, actually. I think عطف بيان or a بدل of some sort. Like it could be بدل اشتمال or no, I think عطف بيان sounds better. عطف بيان. Yeah.
So each of them are repeated 8 times.
Yeah.
How many times? 8 times.
Yeah, so it gives further information about the number of times.
Yeah, so bayan, yeah. You want me to continue?
Yes. Looks like it's just Fawzia is also here, but you can read maybe half the page up to like let's see here, because the sentences are not that hard. And then Fawzia can read the rest.
Okay, inshallah. وإنه تقرر.
What?
Sorry.
Repeat that again.
وأنه sorry. وأنه تقرر ذكر إبليس بقدر لفظ الاستعاذة فقد تكرر كل منهما 11 مرة. 11 I think.
Yes, 11 مرة. Yes, good.
So, should I do again that grammar
Yes.
Arab?
Yes.
So وأنه, it's looking like the matter of fact, as a matter of fact.
Yes.
And then تقرر في الماضي. ذكر is the file and Iblis is the again the badal or that quote what has been mentioned. بقدر الاستعاذي, this is all متعلق to تقرر. بقدر مضاف مضاف إليه لفظي, again مضاف and الاستعاذي is the مضاف إليه. فاستنافية قد is the حرف. تقرر is في الماضي. كل منهما is the file and كل and then منهما مضاف مضاف إليه and منهما جار مجرور مرة. then أتف 11 مرة is again أتف بيان.
Yes.
وأن
Yeah.
ذكر ذكر, it is في الماضي, right? Not
So you have
ذكر.
Anna. What is Anna? And
It will,
what does
it comes with the before an is. An comes with before a fail.
exactly.
أن ذكر الكافرين تكرر بنفس عدد النار.
Beautiful.
النار إلا للكافرين.
Yes.
So واو استنافية. أن حسب نسب, like حرف of نسب. Then ذكرى is the ism, and anna and ذكرى is the mubtada, and al-kafirina is the what you said that
You
hikaya.
can, yeah. So you can look at it as two ways. Al-kafirina is going to be the mudaf ilayh. So dhikra, the mention of al-kafirina. So this is mudaf ilayh. But because it's protected by the quotes, it's going to remain as it is. Okay.
So I should call it hikaya.
So if it is, for example, if it is nasab, you will say nasab ala al-hikaya. If it is rafa', you will say rafa' ala al-hikaya. In this case, we would say it is jar ala al-hikaya.
So al-kafirina jar ala al-hikaya takarrara
Or
fi
majroor, I think.
al-kafirina majroor ala al-hikaya.
Yeah.
تكرر في الماضي بنفس عدد النار is the متعلق to تكرر بنفس جار مجرور مضاف إليه بالchain الناري. واو استنافية. هل is the حرف استفهام. إلا is the استثنى حرف استثنى. And we will call هل as مبتدا or النار as the مبتدا.
هل is حرف.
Oh, okay. So النار is a مبتدا then.
Yes.
And then للكافرين is the متعلق بالخبر محذوف.
Yes. Beautiful. Yeah. So far, any questions, guys? Before we move on, like any clarifications? This part is a bit more straightforward. There's not a lot of complication. There's a lot of repetition. But if there's any clarification that you need, please don't hesitate. Okay.
Yeah, well, I have a question.
Yes.
If you can throw some light on it. You know, on the top of this page, we say takarrara lafzu kufran, right? And then previously, a line before that, we have anna lafza kufru, right?
Yes.
So what is he implying? That when kufr is applied in a proper sense and kufran is in the common sense, is it applying on that, or there is something else that he's referring to?
So what he means is that this word, as it appears, al-kufr, as it appears,
Okay.
and al-iman, as it appears. Like if you go to the Quran and you count the different instances in which al-kufr appears, yeah? And here, he's saying kufran, the way it appears as kufran. If you go count the number of it appears as kufran. For example, if I say, if you read a book, you will find the word, I don't know, the word book. So the word book, when I say the word book, I'm putting a invisible quotation marks on it, right? Because it's protected by the quotes. Yeah, so I'm saying the way it is. Yeah, so that's what he means.
Okay, but you know, it's easier to comprehend it with respect to book, but book is book, right? But there are harkats involved over here. Like, for example, he says, Zikr al-kafirina. He didn't say kafiruna. So he is referring to the proper form of kafir, jama, and nasab or jar.
Yes.
Everything is included into that, right?
Actually, there are two ways of looking at it. That could be a possibility, or he could actually be looking at this as a general concept in a sense that now you see al-kafirina, he didn't make it rafa because the idea was to make it rafa. If it is protected by the quotes, it would be in rafa state. Yeah, or it would be in the state whatever it is supposed to be. But because he made it majroor, in this case, it could be that he's just saying the mention of disbelievers in this particular case.
So he's talking about the general concept of disbelievers?
I would argue that only in this instance, because he has taken the jar status.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So the comparison that he is making involves the status also, right?
It involves the idea, not the status. Here is not just talking about if you look at al-kafirina, the way it appears in the Quran, if you just count al-kafirina, I think here he's talking about the idea of disbelievers, like the whole concept of like inna dhikra al-kafirina, like the mention of disbelievers. So if you look at al-kafiruna, al-kafirina, like just the mention of disbelievers
No,
as
but
a whole.
if he is taking it as an idea, then there should not be any distinction between al-kufr and kufran also. But he's making a distinction there, right?
He's not saying the idea of disbelieve. It's not a masdar.
Okay.
It's disbelievers. So initially here it's the idea of disbelieve, the masdar. So if you just look at the word al-kufr, here is comparing the word. This is protected by the quotes. It's not anna lafd al-kufri. This is the way it is, al-kufr. Yeah, I don't know if I'm making any sense. But in this case here, he's referring to disbelievers. Whether in the Quran you will find it as al-kafiruna or al-kafirina, both. But disbelievers in general. I think that's what he means.
Okay.
Yeah, in general. Yeah, in this particular instance.
Okay. Jazakallah khair.
Yeah, that's a good question. But maybe somebody will have to like count and see if that is the case. I don't know.
Yeah, because I was actually counting for kufran, and we have al-kufr in, like, it is present. Al-kufr is present in the majrur state also, in the marfu state also, and in the nasab state also. But I was counting exactly kufran, common and mansub.
Yeah.
And that is tamani.
Yeah, this is what he means here. He means kufran, the way it appears. So you see if, yeah. So that's what it is. So the idea is, if whatever is in the quotes, like we expected, تكرر لفظ كفر, because this is supposed to be مضاف إليه. But he didn't say kufrin. He said kufran. So that's protected by the quotes. But in this case, you see, in this case, it's possible that he's saying dhikra al-kafirina and he's taking it as mudaf ilay. And if he's taking as mudaf ilay, then this al-kafirina is not protected by the quotes. So in that sense, it could mean whether you count kafiruna or you count kafirina, all of them combined would be equal to the nar. Now, that's a possibility, but then again, somebody would have to count to see if that is the case.
Okay. Yeah. Alhamdulillah. Okay. Jazakallah.
Good observation there. All right. I think we can continue. Saima.
وأن ذكر الحرب تكرر بعدد الأسرة.
بعدد الأسرة.
وهل أسرى إلا من أوزار وهل أسرى إلا من أوزار الحرب.
Good.
وأن ذكر واو is the استنافية. أن ذكر is the مبتدا. الحرب is the مجرور على الحقاية. تقرر is the فعل ماضي. بعدد أسرى is متعلق to تقرر, and بعدد is the جار مجرور. عدد أسرى is the مضاف إليه. بعدد sorry. وهل واو استنافية. هل I think I'm confusing myself, or it is that these are also known as ismul istifham, and then they are considered as the mubtada of a sentence.
هل is a harf, but ism istifham, you have ma, man. Those are the asma'ul istifham, and you have others. But hal and hamza, those are huruf.
Oh, okay. واو استنافية. هل استفهام الحرف. الأسرى is the مبتدا. إلا is حرف استثناء. من أوزار الحرب جار مجرور متعلق بالخبر محذوف أوزاري مضاف and الحرب is the مضاف إليه.
exactly.
وأن اللفظ قالوا تقرر
وأن
لفظة
uh-huh.
وأن اللفظ قالوا تقرر 332 مرة ومن عجب أن يتساوى
Uh-huh.
هذا مع لفظ كل الذي هو أمر من الله إلى خلقه
Beautiful.
فسبحانه
من
من
uh-huh.
قال كل 332 مرة فكان القول مرة 332 مرة.
Yes.
وأن إن لفظة is the مبتدا قالوا is the على الحكاية تقرر is the فعل الماضي 332 مرة so قالوا is the file of تقرر قالوا is getting repeated and this is the number of times so again it is ataf bayan. It's
So you
explaining how
can't have
many.
the fa'il before the fi'l.
Oh yeah.
So what is the fa'il here?
تقرر
The inside pronoun.
oh it
Yeah.
but again it's referring to kalu, right?
Yes.
But grammatically we'll say ki the file is the huwa inside.
Yes. Yeah.
So 332 marata is again that of bayan and
Uh-huh.
this double quote is from some another book. Double quoting. Wow is the nafia. We don't know, it might be istanafia or it might be
Yeah.
ataf.
Yeah.
Min ajabin is jar majroor mutalik to something. An yatasafa, so we got a fail, so it is mutalik to fail. An is a harf which makes the light, which makes the verb fail mudare light. Yatasafa is the fail mudare and hada ma'alabdi. يتسافى هذا I don't know the file inside file
هذا
هذا yeah هذا then مع لفظي اسم متعلق to يتساوى then الذي اسم موصول هو from هو it will be صلة الموصول هو is the مبتدا أمر is the خبر or it can be second مبتدا هو it is the command from هو الذي هو so أمر will be the خبر right.
Yes, the خبر.
من الله is متعلق بالخبر إلى خلقه again متعلق بالخبر فاستنافية سبحانه is the مفعول مطلق we say.
Yes. Or because نائب مفعول مطلق because the فعل itself, it's not there.
عيب مفعول مطلق and then من again اسم موصول will say.
Yep.
Then قال will be the صلة الموصول and قل will be the حكاية and 332 مرة will be أتف بيان can be فكان القول will be استنافي or أتف.
عطف you can say.
أتف كان اسم ناقص القول اسم كان and again 332 مرة so it will be خبر of كان.
No, it will still be عطف بيان.
Okay.
Or yeah, it will be, sorry, this will be the خبر of كان. Yeah. Yeah, you're right. This will be the خبر of كان. Okay. I think we need to go slow on this part, maybe figure out bit by bit, because maybe there's some new interesting bits here. So let's see. Maybe just to mention what happened before. So أن ذكر الكافرون, we covered this, and then this structure we saw it before when he mentioned وهل الموت إلا للأحياء, and isn't death except for the living. And now here he comes and say, and isn't the fire except for the disbelievers. So that idea is repeated there again. And then al-asra, these are captives or prisoners of war or slaves, captives. What are they called? Captured slaves. I don't know. So captives of war. Prisoners of war, yes. Yeah, exactly. So anybody who's captured after a war, this is the name that is given to them. And so he's saying that war is repeated as the same number of times as prisoners of war. Okay. And of course, وَهَلِ الْأَسْرَى إِلَّا مِنْ أَوْزَارِ الْحَرْبِ, and aren't prisoners of war except from the burdens of war. Yeah, so he's saying like they're sort of related. Now we come to this part which may be a little bit confusing. وَأَنَّ لَفْظَ قَالُوا, that the word قَالُوا, again, قَالُوا being protected by the quotes. So قَالُوا as it is, they said, protected by the quotes. تكرر, it repeated 332 مرة. So this would be probably the مفعول به of تكرر in this case, because it repeated 332 times. So the way we would read this, probably would read this as 332. You can check me on that because numbers is my weak point. So yeah, مرة. And then there's this part, I don't know why this is in quotes. This is number what? Oh, they didn't put a number here. So I don't know why they put this double brackets here. But anyway, ومن عجب, and it's such a wonder, أن يتساوى هذا مع لفظ قل. And he says it's such a wonder, it's so amazing that all this that has been mentioned is what he's referring to. That this is يتساوى, becomes equal مع لفظ قل, to the word قل. Okay, so he's pointing out a very interesting observation here. So he's saying قالوا has been mentioned 332 times, and this is so amazing that قل has also been mentioned 332 times. What is the significance? He says, okay, so in the Quran, they said, and the Prophet is being told, you say. So that's the comparison being said. So الذي هو أمر من الله إلى خلقه. And قل, this word قل, this الذي is the sifa to this word. Okay? So you can look at it like that. Yeah? Like it's protected by the quotes. And so this is like, this قل, which is a command from Allah to his creation. فسبحان من قال قل. So how exalted is Allah, or exalted be Allah, the one who said قل 332 times, and the word became 332 times. فكان القول 332 times, and the word was 332 times. I am not so sure if this is khabar kana. This could be kana at-tam in this case. Yeah, this is kana at-tam, maybe. I don't know. I will need to confirm this part. I'm not so sure. Or if somebody knows something about that.
Yeah,
Yes.
this is kana at-tam. I have it written down as well.
Okay, good. Yeah, so this is kana at-tam here. Yeah, that would make more sense. And that's why I was like, this cannot be khabar. I was a bit confused whether this is khabar or not. Yeah. So
What's
this is still
kana
ataf bayan. Oh, okay. So there are two kinds of kana, if you didn't know. So the first kana is the one that we know, kana an-naqis, the one that is incomplete. Yeah.
Yeah.
But then you have kana at-tam. Actually, there are two
Okay.
kinds of fi'ils. There's the fi'il that is at-tam, complete, and then there's fi'il that is naqis, incomplete.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
a fi'il
Okay.
tam, a complete verb, is a verb
Hmm.
that, is complete by itself. If I say, for example, dhahaba Ahmed, it completes
Yeah.
the sentence. Ahmed went.
Okay.
I don't require anything
Yeah.
else. It sounds complete, right? But for
Complete.
example, if
Yeah.
I say kana huwa or kana Ahmed mada, Ahmed was, it's incomplete. I need something else to complete it. Yeah, so that's why
Okay.
kana is called fi'il naqis, because it's
Yeah.
incomplete in meaning. But
Yeah.
then there's a different kind of kana that is actually complete in meaning.
Okay.
And this is the one called kana at-tam. For example, Allah says in the Quran, kun fayakun, be,
Yeah.
and it became. So
Yeah.
be, kun. Where's the isim? Where's the khabar? It's complete by itself. It's a complete
Yeah.
verb. So that's the kind of
Okay.
kana at-tam. Yeah.
Okay. So here it is a complete verb. So what is al-qawlu?
Is the al-qawlu is the fa'il of kana. When you have kana as complete, then it just
Yeah.
acts like another normal complete verb. So it will take on a
So
fa'il. Yeah, like that.
So how will you translate this?
So the word فَكَانَ الْقَوْلُ, so the word became 332 times. The word was
So you
332 times. I don't know how I
it still
translated
makes
it initially.
yeah. How do you translate it? Because it's just translating as an nakana nakis sentence, right?
Not necessarily, because when I say kun fayakun, be, and it became.
So can it be al qawla? Like it became al qawlu? It
No,
became the word?
no,
No,
no.
no.
It's not. Then what became the word? What would be
So
it referring to?
no, like it became the kul. I mean, and I don't know. I was thinking maybe it's compared to the command. It became a affirmative word.
I think he's referring to qul. So
Yeah,
exalted the one who said qul. He gave an amr,
yeah,
a command from qul, and
yeah.
the qul transformed. It became
A
332 statements.
statements, right? So it
Yeah,
became a statement. So fakana
right.
al
It
qawla.
became. Yeah. So except this is not it became al qawlu. It's it's a tricky one, I think.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I
Because if you
think.
see kul became the statement, then the file of kana is kul
Yeah,
and
the
al
fine.
qawl is maqul. If you say it became the statement.
Not it, the statement became 332 times. The statement here referring to qul, and that's why I'm saying it, because I'm referring back to qul.
Okay.
Let me repeat that. Let me repeat that one more time, because I
No,
feel like I'm
I
maybe.
got your explanation, alhamdulillah. But what is he trying to say? What is he? What is he trying to say? I
Okay,
don't get that.
let me explain it. Okay, so he's
Yeah.
saying, it's so amazing. He's pointing out the fact that Allah said, give the command qul the same number of times as the word qalu. Okay, and so he's saying, exalted the one who said that he gave the command qul, the one who said qul, in other words, he gave the command qul 332 times, and the statement became 332 times. In other words, they said, he gave a command, say, and they said. He's trying to compare this qul and qalu. Still, at the end of the day, that's what he's comparing. Yeah, because when they came to the Prophet ﷺ, they came to him asking qalu, like, they would ask him, saying, right? And so the answer to their asking, the question qalu, when they were asking the Prophet ﷺ, was the command qul, say to them. They come to you saying, you say to them. And both of them matched 332 times.
Okay. So it's like Allah's word, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's word, and their word.
Yes.
It's like a one-on-one conversation going on, right?
Exactly. That's the whole point. Yeah, it's one conversation. They came asking for like revelation from the Prophet ﷺ, saying several things. Yeah, and the command came, say to them.
Okay. Jazakallah.
Yeah.
And is the haza is the file of yatasawa?
Let me think about this part. First of all, I was even thinking an yatasawa here, because this is masdar mu'awwal, and it could be في محل رفع مبتدا in this case.
Yes, it looks like a mubtada.
Yeah, so that's that. And then
within
this is the fa'il.
Haza is the file, right?
Yeah, this is the file. Oh, yatasawa. Okay.
And وَمِنْ أَجَبٍ is the متعلق بالخبر مقدم, right?
Yes.
To give the sentence construction of there is.
Yeah.
Okay. Alhamdulillah.
Yeah.
Sister, like the kana, like most of the time when we come across, it comes as a naqis. And on the rare occasion it comes as a tam.
Yeah.
I was reading it, and then where it should strike me ki it can't be naqis, it has to be tam. Like what should be my thinking process? That
Probably
not fitting like no, it's not fitting like naqis.
So with naqis, you expect isim kana, khabar kana. Okay?
Right.
So that's what you expect. If you don't see anything that looks like a khabar of kana, then you start asking yourself, could this kana be a tam? And also you think about the meaning. So the meaning also will guide you, because I think it happened before. وَكَانَ اللَّيْلَةُ الثَّانِيَةُ or فَكَانَ اللَّيْلَةُ الثَّالِثَةُ. We came across it before. Let me see. You remember that part where Abu Jahl, Abu Sufyan, and Al-Akhnas, they went to listen to the Quran? If I could find it. Was it here? Yeah, it was among this many reds. So you see, like for example, let's take this part. So حتى إذا كانت الليلة الثانية. Okay, so if you're just reading this for the first time and you don't know, is this كانت? Is it tam? Is it ناقص? I don't know. Then I look at the sentence and I say, okay, حتى إذا كانت. If I make كانت مبتدا, which means الليلة, whatever comes after it, I'm going to make it اسم of خبر of كان, right? So that's how I'm looking at it from the initial. So I would say, okay, when it was, how do I say this? It becomes very difficult to translate as with الليلة الثانية as the خبر of كان. It becomes very difficult to translate. You can't translate it. Yeah.
But sister, what like Kanat, the here version, and Laylatu Saniyatu. So instead of taking it as a khabar, my first go would have been ki take it as a ism of kana.
Yes, you take it as the isim of kana. Good. Now that is the isim of kana. Okay, now we have to look for the khabar of kana. Where is the khabar of kana? Then you look. Then you see ada. Ada doesn't make sense as a khabar of kana. You can't say when it was the second night, it was ada, because again, you know, when between the isim of kana and the khabar kana, you have to put the was, invisible is or was. So you see, you can't be able to translate it. So that tells you that this kana is probably kana atam, because there's no khabar of kana. Because kana and naqis has to have a khabar of kana. Otherwise, it's incomplete. Right?
Yes.
It cannot even be mahduf. Otherwise, yeah, it cannot make any sense without the khabar. So that's the biggest clue that it gives you. If there's no khabar, then you start looking. Maybe this, I'm looking at it at a different angle. Maybe this is kana atam. And this was a good example of that. So when you come into the discussion of kana atam now, you don't call this isim kana anymore. You call this the fa'il. Because now it's a normal verb.
Okay, so I'll rephrase it so that you can check whether I understood it properly. Is that when you see a sentence turning into a fragment, it is simply not the naqis kana, because a fragment cannot be there. So it has to be a complete sentence, right?
Right. Yeah, it has to be complete.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, so wherever there's a possibility that you see a fragment and nothing is making it a complete sentence, you better look it the other way around. Am I getting it right, sister?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like for example, in this part, if you look at it as kana and naqis, you'd probably end up saying when the third night was. Ada?
Yeah,
when
it's
the third
incomplete.
night was. Yes, it's incomplete.
It's fragment.
So
It becomes
yeah,
fragment. Okay.
exactly. So now you have to turn it back and say, oh, when it was the third night. And now it makes sense. You're like, okay. Or when the third night became, came into being, in other words. That's how kana atam is translated. Coming into being, becoming. It was also, I don't like using it was because it confuses a lot of people because it sounds the same as kana and naqis. So I prefer to use becoming or come into being. One of those is a good way of translating kana atam. And the way you remember this concept, just think about kun fayakun. That's how you'll always remember this concept. Right?
Can we go through the Arab of from woman ajabin?
Yeah. Okay, so you have ومن عجب jar majrur. It's going to be a muta'alliq to something. And then you have أن يتساوى هذا. So أن, this is أن مصدرية. And together, the أن and whatever comes after it, it's going to be the masdar mu'awwal. Okay? So we look at where this sentence ends. أن يتساوى هذا مع لفظ قل الذي هو أمر من الله إلى خلقه. So this whole thing is connected. So I would say this whole masdar mu'awwal from here all the way to the end is one big thing. And that's going to be my mubtada fi mahalli rafa'. And of course this وَمِنْ عَجَبٍ, then in that case it's going to be the muta'alliq bil khabar. And that will be the complete sentence in that sense, the jumla ismiya. Now you come inside this masdar mu'awwal, and of course it's a jumla fi'liya. Yatasawa would be my fi'l. Because it's the huwa version, I look outside to see if there's anything rafa. I mean, hada is raf, it's like, it's not really showing, but it could be. So I'm gonna say that that's my, because there's nothing else. So I'm gonna say this is, and also because yatasawa is lazim, I think. So therefore you cannot take a maf'ul bihi. So hada has to be the fa'il. So that would be the fa'il there. And of course, ma'a lafdi jar majroor. Lafdi qul, again lafdi is mudaf. Qul is mudaf ilay. But because it's protected by the quotes, this one would remain as it is. I won't say lafd quli. I won't say that. I won't force a jar status on it just because it's mudaf ilay. It's protected by the quotes. So we're going to say ma'a lafdi qul. So mudaf ilay. And then alladhi. Alladhi, so this qul, this alladhi is the sifa of this qul, which is protected by the quotes. And he's saying alladhi huwa amru min Allahi, and this qul is the one which is a command from Allah ila khalqihi, to his servants. So you have that. Then alladhi, of course, is ism mawsul, and then whatever follows it is the silatul mawsul. And then inside the silatul mawsul is a jumla ismiya. Huwa is the mubtada, أمر is a خبر من الله متعلق number 1 إلى خلقه متعلق number 2 خلقه مضاف إليه.
Okay, so the question I was struggling with was when you said haza is a file,
Right.
haza is a ishara, and the mushara lay would be ma. Let's say full going along.
Okay.
The whole thing
Let's go.
become the file then.
Let's go to basics. When you have a fragment, اسم إشارة and مشار
Oh
إليه.
yes. Yeah, there should
You
be a
remember?
al there. Okay, got it. Yes, got it. Thank you.
So yeah, sometimes you can have other alone, other just hanging there alone like that.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. What I'm struggling with right now, and I don't know if you guys noticed, is that alladhi is proper, and I don't know how to make this as proper, and that's what I'm wondering, how to connect that. And I don't know if maybe because it's protected by the quotes. I don't know. Like, I don't know. You know, when alladhi is a sifa,
it will be taken as a proper because there is a specific word we are talking. So it becomes a specific. It's just like, isme alam. It's like you're not talking about any general word. It's a specific word. So it is proper.
Yeah. Yeah. Right. Yeah. So in that sense, then, yeah, this will be the sifa.
Then alladhi makes sense. Yeah.
Beautiful. Okay. Yeah. So that's good so far. Any other questions on this section? Okay. All right. Fawzia? Oh, we're already almost at. Maybe you can read 1 or 2 lines and then we can end.
Okay, bismillah. وأن اللفظ الشهر تكرر 12 مرة بعدد شهور السنة.
Yes.
أن is حرف نسب, لفظة is اسمه أن, لفظة in شهر. Did I read that شهر? It should have been شهر. Oh,
Shahri, yes.
Yeah, it should be shahri because it's a mudaf ilayh.
Yes.
Both of them make the ism anna. Then takarrara, from takarrara onwards is the khabar, and takarrara is fi'l madi, and then 12 maratan becomes its. Can I?
You can say maf'ul bihi.
No. Can I say that? Okay.
Yeah, you can. Yeah.
Okay, so that's maf'ul bihi, and then bi'adadi shahur sana is a chained idafa, and that becomes muta'alliq to takarrara.
Yes. So jar majroor and the chain idafa there, and that will be the muta'alliq. Good.
And the word the word month is repeated 12 times, as many times as the months in a year.
Beautiful. Yeah.
And then it's the same in the next line. Wa anna lafza yomi. Do we do yomi or is it yoma?
Al-yawmi.
Is it?
So the trick is, if you're going to like read it together, if you're just going to say wa anna lafza al-yawmi, if you're going to combine, then you have to make it majroor. You have to make it mudaf ilay, right? But if you say wa anna lafza al-yawm, now you're just gonna like read it as it is. Yeah, protected by the quote.
Okay. So wa anna lafza yomi takarrara 365 maratan bi adadi ayamis sana.
Yes.
And the word al-yawm is repeated 365 times, as many times as the days in a year, as a number of days in a year.
Exactly. Yeah, beautiful.
وأن اللفظ الأيام تكرر 30 مرة بعدد أيام الشهر. and the word ayam is repeated 30 times, as many times as the days in a year.
Yeah.
Should I go on?
This
Because
is starting a
starts
new
Yes.
discussion. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we stop there, and when we are fresh in the mind, we can start from there. Yeah, but pretty much this what he is doing, he's been telling us that, you know, the number of times different words have been repeated in the Quran. And the note where we're going to end here, maybe it's an important one, because he talks about the word month or shahr has repeated 12 times, which is coincidentally the number of months in a year. So that's pretty cool. I mean, you can't say that that's a coincidence, you know. And also, al-yawm, the day or day, yeah, has repeated 365 times, as many, and we have 365 days in a year. So that cannot be a coincidence. That's a beautiful observation, and of course purposeful. وأن لفظ الأيام, and that now days in plural. So this is singular day, and this is days, okay, plural of day. Days has repeated 30 times, as many days in a month, which is again another not a coincidence, another beautiful observation. Now from there on, he's going to discuss something interesting and something beautiful about the Arabic language that we can explore next time, inshallah. Are there any questions or corrections,
How we did
clarifications?
the Arab of 12 marrata?
So you can say it repeated, and so you can do this 12 marra as the maf'ul bihi. So it's going to be this is going to be ithnay, because it's going to be nasab. So ithnay, ithnatay, because again it's mu'annath, it's feminine. So ithnatay asharata marra, marratan.
Maf'ul bihi is like who and what?
Yeah. So you can say it repeated what 12 times. It's a weird thing.
Or can
Because
we take it as a maf'ul mutlaq, because maf'ul mutlaq also tells the number of times.
مفعول مطلق.
It tells the number of times, no? The kathiran and naibul maf'ul.
No, but that has like
long
that would be marra, or like تكرارا. If I say تكرر تكررا or كرر تكرارا or
so that masdar needs to be repeated if we need to call it as a maf'ul mutlaq.
yes, the masdar has to be repeated. The same jidr has to appear. If it's a naibu maf'ul mutlaq, then the fi'l could be omitted. But I'm trying to think, because you see, even kathiran, it is assumed that the verb kathura has been omitted. So whenever we say kathiran, the verb is omitted. Kathura kathiran. It's not just kathiran, it's kathura kathiran. Yeah, so the verb is omitted. And that's why it's naibu maf'ul mutlaq. But let me go back to that discussion of maf'ul mutlaq. You know, it's again, we forget. So this is, where did we do maf'ul mutlaq?
There were like 3 functions of
Oh yeah, how sarf words are used, I think. مفعول مطلق. So in this case, I think we were looking at نائب مفعول مطلق. This is where it gets a bit complicated. Yeah, so you see, for example, whenever we do كثيرا, the verb, like if I say أحبك كثيرا, the masdar is omitted. أحبك حبا كثيرا. Yeah, so the masdar has been omitted, and therefore كثيرا is the نائب مفعول مطلق.
So there we can say
sense.
So
What about your number 3? The point number 3, which is numbers and what do you say?
Oh yeah,
That number, when it comes with numbers, you can't apply this concept there.
yeah. Okay, yeah, so I didn't read my own notes. So yeah, but see, the thing is, the masdar is repeated. The jidr is repeated. أكلت أربعة أكلات. Yeah. So that's my whole point. Like the jidr is going to be repeated. Like in that case, it's not تكرر. It's marra. It's not تكررا. It's not the masdar that is repeated. It's a different word. It's marra. But
like,
Mhm.
sorry, like in above, hubbuka kasiran. So
Yeah.
in this case, the hubba, we have taken that it is mazuf and it is there, and that's why kasira is the maf'ul mutlaq. So there also we can say ki the takarrara fail is there, and then takarruran, the masdar is musaf, and directive marratan is written. So
Maybe.
takarrara,
Yeah.
takarruran marratan,
Then
that it
marra, yeah.
repeated itself. Well, bihi, it's not fitting in my mind. I'm not able to grasp it. Like, I don't know.
Maybe. Honestly,
I
I'm
don't
not
know.
100% sure.
But there are numbers involved. There are numbers involved. Can we say, like, maybe there was some maf'ul mutlaq, and this is the explanation of that maf'ul mutlaq. But I don't know if there are numbers involved. Can you really do that?
Yeah.
I mean, it's pretty clear that, in the example, it makes sense. Like, for example, he is eating. So how many times he ate? So the action of eating is there. But when you're talking about marra, like it is times, so I don't know. I mean, it is specifically signifying how many times. So can you apply this maf'ul mutlaq concept there? Because it is a simple statement. How many times? It was repeated how many times? This many times. It sounds simple, right? So why too complicated? I don't know.
I kind of understand where you're coming from, because you're trying to like where Saima is coming from, she's trying to fit in the concept of how we learned maf'ul bihi. Like, we said maf'ul bihi answers the question what or who. So if you
Yeah.
ask what did it repeat, you don't answer it as 10 times. Like if I say what repeated, you don't say 10 times. Like in that sense,
How,
then
yeah,
you have to
please
use the
speak.
word how many times. Yeah.
So if you have a, like, how much,
Yeah.
how much, where does this how much question fall into?
Yeah. So now that the question of how much come, sometimes it can be the mubtada, it can be the maf'ul bihi, depending on
Yeah,
yeah,
it
how
falls, right? It falls in
yeah,
the
it
same
falls under
bracket, like,
maf'ul bihi. Yeah.
yeah.
But
So it is answering.
I need to research this marra business and numbers business more. I'm not 100% sure where to put it. It looks straightforward like a maf'ul bihi, and for me it makes sense as a maf'ul bihi as well. But I don't know if also this concept of a na'ibu maf'ul mutlaq can apply, like in this sense. That is something I need to research a little bit more. Yeah, and find out.
Thank
So,
you,
yeah.
Fawzia. You opened up a new learning dimension to us. Jazakallah khair.
Yeah. That was that was a very good question. I don't know the exact answer. To me right now, maf'ul bihi sounds like the easiest explanation, but is it the correct one? I honestly don't know. So yeah, that's a good one. And UJ hasn't done this part yet, right? I don't think he did. Anyway. Any other questions?
No, alhamdulillah. Rest is clear.
All right. Okay, great. I think we can stop there. We can end there, inshallah. سبحانك اللهم بحمدك أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت نستغفرك ونتوب إليك السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. I will see you guys next week إن شاء الله.
وعليكم
إن شاء
السلام.
الله. وعليكم السلام. قبل خير.
جزاك
See you.
الله خيرا كثيرا.
جزاك الله خير. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.
وإياكم.